Hey guys, Ben here, and I just wanted to bring you a quick tutorial on building hard lines, specifically brake line and fuel lines. So first we'll start out with the material and the tools that we need to get the job done. So you can see a lot of stuff we have here are from Eastwood. You can get all of this type of tool from Eastwood. Click our affiliate link here, buy it through that, or let us know if you have any questions or general inquiries. First, most of the material that we get comes in a coil like this. So this is 3/16 copper nickel alloy, and we use this for our brake lines. It's DOT approved, and the thing that we like about this is that it flares and it bends way easier than traditional like steel or stainless steel. Not to say that we don't use stainless, we also use stainless here depending on the application, what we want it to look like. But as far as ease of use, this copper nickel alloy works really well. It's 3/16 and they come in coils like this. For the fuel line, this is 3/8 aluminum, and we use a whole lot of this as well. We use the same general concept tools, it's just larger, but yes, we use a lot of this and it also comes in coils. So we'll start with the brake line, and the first thing we're gonna need to do is straighten it, right? So you can see we have two different straighteners here. We have this one where it's adjustable. You got these rollers and you just tighten it down tight against the tubing, and then you roll it through. For the smaller stuff, I actually like to use this. This is Eastwood tool right here. It does 3/16 and 1/4 inch. So since this is 3/16, we'll get it out and show you how that works. It's fairly simple to use. I mean, you literally just kind of hold this thing. Whichever one you won't see right here says 3/16 1/4. You just flip the switch one way or the other. So since we're doing 3/16, we're gonna use that. What I'll generally do is kind of just get it started, and then you see, you just stick it in there. It goes through another set of rollers, and we're just gonna do like a little short piece to get you, just kind of show you. But literally, it has rollers in both directions. So it's pressing up and down and right to left on this thing. And you can see doing like this, it really does a good job of straightening that tubing out, which is what we want. The next thing you're gonna need to do is cut it, right? So we just use a standard set of, cutters like this. We're going to tighten that up until we feel some resistance. Another good thing about these soft materials such as this copper nickel and the aluminum is that it cuts easier as well. Simple enough. And again, we're just turning it around or two, and then you're tightening it up right here, and that tightens the blade against the tubing, so you're taking small cuts incrementally, right? Okay, so that's cut now. You may have to do a little bit of handwork straightening this, or you can kind of run it back through here, let those wheels do their job. One thing you want to look at is when you cut these, there can be some burrs, both on the outside and the inside. I've got a small deburr tool here, but you'll just stick it down in there and just run it around through there a couple times. Get any kind of burrs or nicks off of that thing. You can feel the outside of it. There's really nothing on this, but you can kind of take and go around that. And then you want to make sure that it's nice and square. You see that the cut itself is square with the tubing, perpendicular, so you really want that. The next thing we'll show you is we have the actual flaring tool. All right, so this is the Eastwood flaring tool. We've had this thing for a long time, and it has been used a ton, and it's still working well. It comes with a set of dies here that are for your inverted flares. So they're 45-degree fittings or 45-degree flares, and you can see it says 45 right there. Now, if you get into the AN fittings, which we use a lot as well, they're 37-degree, which you can see this set right here is our 37-degree AN die set, and it says it, but just you want to make sure that you're using the correct set of dies for the application, right? So we're going to show you both, but we'll start out with the 45-degree inverted flare because that's pretty normal on like a factory application. To set this thing up is simple enough. You throw it in a vise, handle out, just slide right in, locks in place, open that up, and then I like to check so you can see this right here tells you on it what it's for. It says 45-degree flares right there. So just again, it's more of the verification, making sure you're using the right thing. Right here, so 3/16 right there, it is 45-degree, and we're going to put it in like so. You just want to make sure it's nice and butted up there. Again, one of the biggest things you want to remember when you're flaring lines is your tube nut or your fitting that's going on the end, especially if sometimes you've already got something on this end. You got to put that on, and I forgot that anybody that you talk to who's ever fabricated these lines has forgotten that, but make sure you get that on there. We'll stick that in, and then this pretty well tells you pretty easily. You want to get these lined up too, so see how there's a squared end and the one that's got an angle to it. You want to make sure that you get those the same. we'll slide it in there, put that on. We're going to lock this in place like that. I snug it some, but you can still move the line. So this operation 0 is the first thing you're going to want to do. So stick your tubing out, and then you're going to flush that up. That's what that is. And then you tighten this down. That holds your tubing inside the dies, right? So that's operation 0. Operation number 1, you want to find 3/16. You can see right there. Again, that's what size tubing we're using. Make sure it's going in there. You'll feel it bottom out. So that's operation 1. Then operation 2 right here, same deal. It says 3/16 and 1/4 inch, but this is what you use. And then again, make sure it's centered up and starts well. And then you'll feel it bottom. That's all there is to it. Now, loosen this up. We'll pop this thing out and check out our flare. So you can see here, your tube nut just fits right against that. That's how it seals right there. You can look that the flare is nice and even. There's no cracks around through here. That's one thing you want to look at, make sure there's no cracks. Nothing weird that looks like it's oblong or it's shaped differently or weird. And then your flare is good. Just make sure you, again, remember your nut. So on the other side of this, we'll put on an AN fitting. So again, you're going to swap these out. So the 45 degree, we're pulling out, putting back in the box. This literally just pops off like that. And then we're going to get our AN set out. So again, 37 degree right here. So 3/16, 37 degree, easy enough, right? Again, especially now that we've got something on this end, you've got to remember to put your fittings on. All right, so again, make sure we get our fittings on correctly. So these are the AN style tube nuts, and this, just make sure you get it on. See the larger part with the taper, it's gonna go down that way. So let's throw those on, and then we'll again put it back over in here. Same process, put the dies in, lock that in. I snug this, but enough I can still move the tubing. And so operation 0, flush that up, tighten it down. Then we're going to operation 1, 3/16 right there. Centered up good. It'll bottom out, you can feel it. And then operation 2, 3/16, 1/4 inch right there. Make sure it's centered, bottoms out, done. So again, you want to inspect this, make sure it looks even all the way around. There's no, again, the biggest thing, sometimes they'll crack in this area. Make sure there's no cracks. And now, see that fits right down over there, nice, and then your tube nut's gonna come down on top of that. Again, inverted flare, so this could be, a lot of this is kind of like a factory style that is converts it to a 3AN, but you will build your hard line, screw it in there, and it seals. And again, both of these seals are mechanical seals. There's no RTB, there's no thread paste, nothing like that. These should seal just like this without adding anything, no gasket. But so that's your inverted flare, and then your AN right here. So we go on, so like this side of this, right here. So there you go. Whether you use an inverted flare, AN, or both on a brake line, that's how you do it. All right, so next we have our 3/8 line. And again, this tubing is measured by outside diameter. So outside is 3/16, outside is 3/8, right? So now, again, comes in the coil, we've got to straighten this. And you saw us use the small tool. Now we're going to use this for the larger stuff. So unlike the small tool, which is preset at either 3/16 or 1/4, this is based on how tight you want to make it. So you really got to watch out on these soft materials to not oblong this. So if you tighten this down too much, it's going to make this an oval instead of a circle, and you don't want that because none of your fittings are going to fit on it. Again, I'll try to just kind of get this started by hand. Again, we'll just do a short piece and get it right through there, and then just kind of start tightening this down. I'm just trying to gradually kind of roll this through here and not put too much pressure on it because we want to keep it a circle. Again, this is a nice tool, and it's really nice when you're doing a big long length. So if we're running a line from front to rear, on the frame, then it's going to be a pretty long piece of material. And these tools make that a lot nicer to get a straight piece of tubing. So you can see there, and again, we cut it. All right, so now we're snug on there, and you can see it's not trying to walk. So it's just one line right there. Again, as it starts trying to corkscrew or walk on you, you need to redo that. So we've got this cut and deburred. Don't forget to put your fittings on. These are 6AN fittings, 3/8 tubing. 37 degree, 3/8. That's what we want to use. Slide it off in there, lock this joker down, and now operation 0 to flush that tubing up. Make sure to get this nice and tight. We're going to operation 1 on 3/8. Looks like it's going in there, nice. And it centered up, so feel it bottom out. Operation 2 now, 5/16 3/8. Again, we'll make sure it's centered up, going in there. All right, there we go. Let's see what it looked like. All right, so yeah, so you can tell there it's flared 37 degree. Get this fitting out. And so that goes just like that. So you got your small fitting that seals up against the 37, and then the nut right there. A lot of times we end up using these like bulkhead fittings. We'll make like a little bracket off the frame. It just screws on just like this. We'll have a bracket holding to the frame, and then we'll have another A-end fitting here with like a hose that runs up to your fuel rail or over to your fuel pump or whatnot. So, but that's your 6AN with a 3/8 hard line. One other thing I'd like to touch on real quick for both of these is you got to secure these right. You know, you don't want to have 2 feet in between your clamps. So what we use a lot are these notch head clamps. So they're really nice, and that you can just screw them directly to your frame or whatever you want. And then they have them for these hard lines where they literally just snap into place like that. And we try to put them, every 12 to 18 inches apart from each other. And then you can just pull it back out like that. They make them for 3/8, and they make them for brake line, same deal right here. So again, we try to put plenty of these on there to effectively secure these lines so that they're not moving around or anything like that, and they'll obviously keep them away from heat sources and so forth. But quick and dirty, that is how we fabricate our brake and fuel lines. 3/16 for brake, and then 3/8 for fuel for the most part. But that's it. Again, these tools, you can buy them from Eastwood. We have these for many years, and they have seen much use and probably a little bit of abuse as well, but really good tools. You've got the flaring tool with both the 37 and the 45 degree dies. That tool, when you buy it, comes with a case, which is nice. We got the tubing straightener, which you looked at earlier. It does 3/16 and 1/4 inch. And then we've got this larger tubing straightener. Again, we use a smaller one more for brake lines. We use this one more for fuel lines. And then the only other thing that we can use is just a bending tool. So this does multiple different size tubing here. Throw that off in there. And then, when we're building these, we normally try to do a 45 or a 90 degree bend. Keep everything nice and tight, keep everything parallel, keep our straight run straight. It makes it look a lot nicer. But again, we'll go through and kind of take a Sharpie and mark where we want it. And then it's got a gauge right here that tells you your angle. So see here, so that's like a 45. So if we need to like make a kick right there, we'll do it like that. And then we may come down again more and do like an opposite. You just got to make sure you have this lined up. And now you do another 45. And so we can make an offset if we need to. But we like to do the 45s as much as possible. Sometimes we'll have to do a 90 just based on space constraints. And then you put your notch head clamps on there, secure it so there's no movement, there's no work hardening. And there you go. Again, all these tools, you can get Eastwood. They're really nice. We've used all of these a lot. They hold up, they're durable, they make a really nice finished product. So brake and fuel lines, there you go. Like and subscribe. We'll have you some more content coming soon.